I'm Annette, your resident sexpert, and this is the S Word. This is the judgment-free show for open and honest conversation about all things sex. Be sure to like and subscribe and go ahead and hit that bell so that every time I post a new show, you'll get a notification. As always, remember, I am not a doctor, so before taking any advice, please be sure to consult your trusted healthcare professional. This show is for mature audiences only, so if you are under the age of 18, this show is not for you. Our sponsor is A Design by Diva. A Design by Diva features custom clothing that specifically cater to women, as well as custom rhinestone and screen print tees. You can check them out at adesignbydiva.com to request a quote. That's adesignbydiva.com. As I normally do, I post a question asking my Facebook friends for topics or discussion ideas. And I got a lot of really good ideas, which some of them I'll be using later on later episodes. But this one in particular was one that kind of came up a lot. And it's something that I struggle with myself. So today's topic is we fucking or what? So what is that all about? Well, seems to be that a lot of women, myself included, have struggles with initiating sex. I know sex is important, it's beautiful, but a lot of times as women, we think it's always the man's role, and that's just not the case. So what we're going to do, we'll break down why, we have these issues and ways that we can work on kind of trying to conquer those. So ladies, make sure you listen up because this one's for you. So why don't women initiate sex? Well, there are several factors. Some we have control over, some we don't. One of the major issues, or major reasons rather, just like I said before, societal norms and what we deem as traditional. We live in a male-dominated society. It is what it is. And a lot of times, just as I said before, sex is seen as something that's really for the man. It's for his pleasure. It's for his gratification, not necessarily the woman. So when it comes to initiating that, a lot of us feel that, okay, well, if you're the man, then that's what you're supposed to do, right? Well, we know, as we've discussed before, that, like I said, sex is a beautiful thing, and it's okay to want it. It's a natural human desire. That is, it is what it is. But a lot of times women feel slutty, or like I said, those societal norms. We're not supposed to go after it. We're supposed to let the man come to us. We're not supposed to shoot our shot at any point in time. So that's why you got to have a lot of women who don't, those gender roles. Another reason, life in general. As women, we have to be at the tip top of our game every single day, especially if you have children, whether you're married, you're single, in between, whatever you want to call it. We have to stay on top of things. If you do have kids, think about your daily routine. You have to wake up at a certain time of day, get all the kids ready. Sometimes you may have to comb hair, you may have to pack lunches. No matter how well you plan, somebody's going to lose something. There's always a lost shoe or a belt or something that you can't find in the morning, and we have to do all of that every morning and get ourselves and the kids out the door on time to get to school on time. Then we have to get to work on time, right? Then once we get to work, we still have to be tip-top shape, on top of our game all day long. Then you get off work, gotta come home, tend to the kids, cook dinner, whatever it is you have to do. So when it's time to get in the bed, we don't want to be in charge anymore. We want somebody else to take control. Our brains have been running and running and running all day long. And at this point, we want to be tended to. We've taken care of everybody. We've gotten all the kids straight. The dinner is out the way, clothes washed, all of that stuff. And now we want everything to be in someone else's hands. So, those are things we can control. We can control how we see ourselves, our own insecurities, and we can control our daily routine and, working that in as a priority as well. So now let's look at things or a thing we can't control. Just that natural hormonal makeup. Typically, and for the most part, we all know there's a rule breaker. There's always an exception to the rule. But for the most part, men actually have a higher sex drive than women. And that's mainly due to them having more testosterone. That's why a lot of times you hear these commercials about, different supplements or what have you for men with low testosterone. And they say one of the side effects or one of the symptoms of low testosterone is a low libido, the lack of that desire for sex. So, like I said, that's just the natural makeup of a man to have more testosterone, in which that testosterone actually increases their sex drive. Also, basically men feel that desire and then they get aroused, and we notice that even if you have a little boy or just from growing up, you go to parties and you danced on a boy, or he, when he got to a certain age and he would see a cute girl and, then he felt his penis get on hard, so they can see things or, feel that desire or think about it and they're ready. Whereas for the most part, for women, we're more so in the reverse. You have to basically stimulate us first or arouse us first, and then we get that desire. Foreplay, you got to kind of get us ready, get us in the mood, and then we're ready. And so a lot of times when it comes to initiating sex, that's kind of the issue. It's like, I'm not really in the mood. I could be in the mood, but I'm not there yet, so how can I initiate something or start something when I'm not necessarily feeling it yet, like I said, men are more spontaneous, and we are reactive. So, they're proactive, we're reactive. So, like I said, they can see you walk by with those boy shorts on and they're like, oh yeah, I'm ready. Whereas us, you got to rub me down a little bit, and let me know that, get my mind and everything ready for it. And then, we can go at it. So, like I said, we've covered the things we can control as well as the things we can't control. So now, let's figure out ways that we can combat these issues, right, ladies? Okay, we all know that men want love too. They want to feel wanted just like we do. I don't care how hard your man is or how hard your partner is, what they don't care about on the streets or what have you. When it comes to that emotional connection, they want to know that we want them too. They don't always want to be the one like, well, damn, why am I always pushing up on you and you never, reciprocate, or you never bring it to me first? Is it me? You don't like me? What is it going on? And a lot of times it's not the case that we're not physically attracted to them, or, you know, whatever may be running through their mind. It just goes back to, like I said, those things we can and can't control. So now that we've gotten that out the way, let's get down to it, right? So first things first, don't overthink it. Just go with it. So you laying there, or sometimes, you know, you may be kind of getting yourself, you know, you may see something, or, you know, you sometimes we just kind of feel a way, you know, and in our mind, we play this whole scenario out. Okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to surprise him, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And then you get cold feet, or whatever may happen, and it's like, no, you know, is he gonna look at me stupid if I do that? Or, you know, you start to overthink, and then you talk yourself out of it. So what you want to do is just go with it. When that thought comes to mind, you know, now not if you're in front of the kids, you know, or what have you, but when that thought comes to mind, just go with it. Okay, so now moving along, and this kind of ties into what I just said. Don't be embarrassed. That ties into, you know, you in the back of your mind, is he gonna think I look stupid? Or, you know, what is he gonna think about this? Don't be embarrassed about it. You know, if you're in a marriage or long-term relationship, you're supposed to be able to be vulnerable with your partner. You're supposed to be able to let down all your inhibitions, break down all those walls, and just be you. And, you know, just like Betty Wright said, be a lady with the kids, and you know what, in the sheets, right? So that's what you want to do. You want to be his freak, and that's okay. It's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You should be. Start early and be creative. Texting or sexting throughout the day. You know, if you start early, you know, drop little hints or what have you, or let him know, you know, yeah, I saw you leaving this morning. You were looking real good in that uniform. You know, drop little things throughout the day. That way you don't feel so pressured, you know, when you're in the bed or whatever, you don't feel so pressured to just come up with something. You've been working at it all day long, and you've been building this up all day long. That in mind, whatever it is you say you were going to do, or whatever you guys discussed in those messages, make sure you follow through with it. Because, I mean, we've all felt disappointment in life when your mind has been set on something, you geared up and you ready, and you know, you waited for that time, you know, hurry up, kids, get the bag on, you know, and then nothing happens. Or, you know, now you've, you know, talked yourself out of everything that was in those messages. So be sure, you know, to follow through with it. Do what turns your partner on. The 5 love languages come to mind. I know there's touch, words of affirmation, gifts. The other 2 fail me right now, but find out what it is your partner likes, what, you know, attracts them, and use that to your advantage. If they like touch, you know, when they're coming out of that shower, you know, just walk up behind them and just, you know, give them that hug, you know, like, you know, let them know that you're feeling them, you know, and that's something that's nonverbal. So if you don't feel comfortable with talking dirty or whatever, those things, those little nuances that we've forgotten about, that have gotten lost in love, those little things, you know, that brings that spark back. And that's kind of a way to manipulate the situation. You know, if you're afraid to initiate it, things like that, those little soft touches, like I said, those little nuances, at some point that may push him to kind of start it in the bed, but you've already started it before you got to that point. So in your sense, you are still initiating it. It's just not the actual physical sex that you initiated or you started or whatever. So like I said, do what turns your partner on. Get sexy. And when I say get sexy, that doesn't mean necessarily go out and buy, new lingerie or what have you. But that is a contributing factor. You should, at some point, everybody's not into everything. So if your man doesn't like that, then that's not going to help. But if he does, go ahead and get you a couple of pieces. Like I said, we're trying to keep this spark in it, so step out there, get you a couple of pieces that you feel like he likes. Or, if you don't have the money and there's like a certain pair of panties or what have you that he likes, put those on sometimes and just kind of prance around for a second and let him see you. Sometimes dropping little hints like that will let him know that this is what I want. I may have a fear of saying it, but I'm showing you that this is what I want right here. Like, you see this? Come on now, that's what I want you to do. Last but not least, be giddy. It's okay to be silly sometimes. We've all grown and matured, and we also grown now we don't even laugh together anymore. It's all, about the kids, the life, the bills, the structure. It's okay. Make it a game. A little wrestling game, a little scavenger hunt. Come and find me, and I got something for you if you find me, so little things like that. Like I said, it's okay to be silly. It's okay to be giddy. It's okay to be in love again. Because when you're going through the motions of life, a lot of times we throw love and throw emotions and feelings and sex and everything on the back burner. And that's how a lot of our relationships are unraveling. You got to find a way to keep that spark in the relationship. It can't always just be about sex, but sex is important. Now, fellas, I got something for y'all too. Now, I know we getting on the ladies, but let me drop y'all a few little jewels. A major turn on for a lot of women, helping around the house. The little things, like I said, we're at the tip top of our game all day long. We got to go take the kids to school, pick them up, take them to practice, whatever it is, whatever the case may be. Then we get off work, we got to come home, we got to cook, we got to clean, we got to do all of this stuff. Small things, guys, turns us on. If I come home and the dinner is already on the stove, you just freed up some time for me. So now we can go eat, get these kids to bed, and let's go. Because that was sexy. I get home, I hate folding clothes. If I come home and you got the clothes folded, you're going to have to refold these because I'm about to knock these off the bed, because that is like the sexiest thing to me and to a lot of women. Just to see that you appreciate me or you love me so much that you see all that I have to do and you're willing to step in and take a little bit off of my plate, that's one of the quickest ways to get it. Also, fellas, compliment your lady just, throughout the day or on a regular basis, rather. Excuse me, my husband's cutting grass. I'm sorry, that's life, daily struggle, right? So, give her that attention beyond sex. Let her know that she looks sexy with her clothes on. She's getting ready to go out to work or whatever. Oh, baby, you wearing it to work? You got a work husband? Flattery beyond when y'all in the bed and you telling her, oh, you look sexy with them boy shorts on. Because we know it after a while, it makes the woman feel like just another chick, just another, piece, like, damn, that's the only time you say something nice to me is when you're trying to get some. That's what you're supposed to do to the side chicks or the people that have nothing to do with us. So you know, like I said, compliments, helping around the house, those are two of the easiest ways to get what you want, guys. So ladies, now we know what we got to work on, why we're conditioned the way we are, and a few tips and tricks and things we can do to try to help us with the initiating sex, So our men know that we want them. They know that we love them and we need them. I suggest just grabbing you a couple of these, that you're comfortable with. I would never recommend doing anything that's going to, make you feel uncomfortable or that's going to interfere with your morals and values. So, like I said, just take a few of them, and make them work for you. These are just, tips and advice. Just make it work for you. You definitely need to communicate your turn-offs, turn-ons, desires, what have you, with your partner. How can they know what it is you like if you never tell them, right? They don't know, that you like foreplay or that you need foreplay to get in the mood if you don't open up your mouth and say anything. Closed mouth don't get fed, right? So, like I said, we know what we need to do, ladies, what we need to work on. Let's get down to it, right? Go ahead, drop down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Do you all have, problems initiating sex? What are some tips, tricks, ideas that you may have? Drop down in the comments and let me know. I'll be looking.
The pocketbook perspective.
This is the portion of our show, or of my show, where I give advice based on letters or questions that I've received. So today, it's not really anything asking for advice, but it was a really good question, and so I figured I'd answer it here. The question is it really the man's fault if the woman doesn't achieve an orgasm? And my answer is no, it's hers. Because, in the words of Sir Juvie, I'm going to get my fucking nut for sure. You think that I'm going to be laying here on top or whatever the case may be, getting all hot and sweaty, sweating out my silk press and not get what I came for? No ma'am, no sir, no way, no how. As adults, because this is an adult show, you should know exactly what it takes to make you come. Some women, orgasm clitorally, some through, penetration or hitting the G-spot. Some other ways, whether it's orally, some through certain touches, what have you, or if you kiss, in certain areas. But as a grown woman, you should know exactly what you need to get what you came for. Ladies, get a bullet. Get you a bullet. If you're single, keep that bullet in your little booty bag. You know what that booty bag is. You know that little bag you keep in your trunk of your car, so that when you at the club or when you out and about and your boo call you and say, hey, you spending the night tonight? You coming over tonight? You can go straight over from wherever you are. You have everything you need in that bag. Your toiletries, your condoms, because we're all about safety, right? And your bullets. So that way, when you're done, whether you're married, single, whatever, when you're done, if you didn't get it, and let's say you are into intimate wellness products, you reach over and you grab that bullet and let him use it on you. If he's not into that, you take your bullet and you go in the bathroom when you wash up, because we have to pee afterwards and you got to wash up afterwards, right? Go ahead and finish, because you didn't come there to waste your time, right? So Get you a bullet. That's what they're for. They're small, discreet. He'll never know. This is why I always say masturbation is so important, because how can I tell my partner what I like or what I need or what makes me come if I don't know myself? You know, never put the key to your happiness in someone else's hands. Do it yourself, boo. And on that note, I'm out. I'd like to give a special thanks to our sponsor, A Design by Diva. Shop with her at adesignbydiva.com. Get all of your custom women's wear and rhinestone and screen print tees. That's adesignbydiva.com. Go ahead, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that stuff. If you want to sponsor a show, you can contact me at contact@sweetnothingsonline.com. That's contact@sweetnothingsonline.com. Thank you. I hope this was a great episode. Always looking for ideas, so you can feel free to drop down in the comments with any questions, ideas, or what have you. You can send me your letters as well to contact@sweetnothingsonline.com. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.